It's like one side is worse than the other. I like that. That's interesting how we came to that conclusion. So, anyway,
You're
here's.
making me sound like a liberal podcaster
I know,
when I'm not.
and you're not. I know. I know. Breaking news. He got him, folks. Donald Trump has gotten himself. He
hmm
has. We've got the tapes. We get to hear it now. And we're going to listen to Donald J. Trump. You know what the J stands for? Junebug.
I don't.
Junebug.
No,
It's
it
Donald
doesn't. No,
Junebug
it
Trump.
doesn't.
Yes, it
You're
does. It is
hurting my
Donald
leg right now.
Junebug Trump. That's why he's that color. That's why he's orange. He's the same color as a Junebug. Uh,
You're definitely pulling my leg right now.
I might be pulling your leg. Um, but you got the link up, and we are going to listen to him talk for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to scream at him and freak out.
It's sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the
Like when
beginning.
Millie's talking about, oh, we're going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in.
That's right.
Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came out. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him.
Wow.
We looked at him. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would print that out all the time.
she'd
Trying
send
to
it,
keep it all.
she'd send it to
Yeah.
Anthony Weiner,
Yeah.
the pervert. By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying, because we were talking about it. And he said, he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the
You
papers.
did.
This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll try to
Declassify.
figure out
See, as president, I could have declassified.
Yeah.
Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so. Look, we here and I have, and you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
It's
you.
incredible, right?
No,
Hey, bring some coats in, please.
Who's Millie? Yep.
Milley
hmm
is a general who makes up plans. So this general puts together plans for different military operations. And
hmm
someone, and Milley at some point said, hey, if you want to do operations or attacking Iran, here's the plans we have for it. That's what generals do. They just make plans
hmm
for this kind of thing. That's not unusual. But
hmm
Trump is trying to win an argument here. He's using these top secret classified documents as props to win an argument. If you and I were having an argument about Star Wars right now, I have all of these props. You see all these props? I got all these
hmm
props. This suggests
hmm
that I am, in fact, a Star Wars expert. And if you thought you were winning the expert, you were winning the argument, I'd be like, yeah, you got one of these? You ain't got one of these. I'm obviously smarter about Star Wars than you are. Donald
hmm
Trump, someone said, hey, Donald Trump wanted to go to war with Iran. And instead of saying, nah, man, that's not what I wanted to do, he shows other people the documents and waves them in their faces so that you will know that these are real documents. Look right here. This is what the military gave me, and the military said that they were going to invade Iran, not me. It wasn't my idea. So that's what he's talking about with Milley. Is he's having an argument. He's having one of those arguments you have in the shower, like 6 weeks after it happened. Have you ever been in the shower, like replaying the thing that your boss said or somebody said about you, and you're like, yeah, I should have said this and that. That's what he's doing in real time, but he's using top secret documents as props for it. He's using it as hey, look at this. Here's the evidence that I didn't want to go to war with Iran, but it was the military that wanted to go to war with Iran.
What I thought was interesting while I was listening to that is that he's having a conversation with whoever that woman was.
Yes.
And there's obviously other people in the room.
Mhm.
And she is entertaining him or enjoying the conversation. You can't really tell at the beginning. But she's all on board for the conversation that they're having. And then he hands her the papers, and she sees them. And you can tell her mood changes. Like,
Right.
she's not as comfortable in the conversation anymore.
Now she's
And then at the
uncomfortable.
very end, at the very end, he says that stuff about, when I was the president, I could declassify these, but now I can't declassify these anymore. And he goes on to say, we can use this to, prove whatever point he wanted to make. And she's very much like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Yo, get away from me. Because she knows she's not dumb. I don't know who she is yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
This is highly confidential. This is secret. Look.
Yeah.
He literally said it.
Yeah. And I think probably the FBI was thinking the same thing when they heard the tape as well. Was you can hear in her voice the change in mood.
And you know what's going to happen? She's going to be on the stand. If she hasn't been, I very much suspect that she has already been questioned heavily about this event. Whoever that lady is, I don't know who it is yet, but I should do some investigation to find out. She has been in an interrogation room asked about this, and she has verified that this is actually what happened, and this is a recording, because this isn't a secret recording. This was for a biography. He knew.
That was going to be my other question: was why was this recorded?
He knew.
Why was it recorded?
Yeah, someone was doing a biography, and they were interviewing him about a biography, and he knew it was recorded, and he gave them permission to record. This isn't secret. They didn't sneak a microphone into his house plant. He knew this was happening.
He goes into an interview, recorded interview, knows he's being recorded for a biography that he wants done, and he's bringing these classified documents to hopefully have the biographer use information in a classified document to argue in his biography that he's awesome.
Yes.
And didn't want to go to war.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the insanity. Like, he might be able to pull off the insanity defense, but I think that's the only defense he has left.
Well, I think that he thinks that Hillary had classified documents, and that
makes it okay.
Obama had classified documents, and that Bush had classified documents, and so he should be able to have classified documents too.
Right. So it's okay because they all did it. Yeah, but you're right. We have one person in chat, Shinsinto. He's a very important chatter to us, and he said it's off the record, so it can't be used in court. He did use the words. Trump did use the words. This is off the record. So you can't use that in court, right? That's the law. That's just the law. He said it's off the record, so you're allowed to say whatever you want. Your Honor, I said off the record. And we all know that means...
He's about to learn the difference between journalistic integrity and the law.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he got him, folks. He got him. You played yourself.
I mean, I guess the only problem is that they would still need physical evidence to really close the case. I mean, last I heard, they hadn't found the classified documents that he was talking about.
I'm pretty sure they got them in the raid.
Did they?
Yeah, they got them in the raid, and then they got all the photos.
I'll have to look. I was under the impression they hadn't found the documents that were referenced in the recording.
I'll double check, but I think they got them all in the raid.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but I mean, like, they asked politely. Well, actually, he was told you cannot take that. Then he took it from the White
Mm-hmm.
House. Then they asked quietly and politely, "Hey, do you have these?" Nara did this. Nara said, "Hey, do you have these? Can we have them back? We need them. You're not allowed to keep them. We have to put them in the correct place." Um, at which his lawyers were like, "Yes," and then they handed over like some small amount of the documents. Then Nara came back a couple of months later and said, "Hey, there's still a whole bunch missing. We would really like it if you did that. Please do it back." And then the lawyers handed a little bit more. And then they put in a subpoena, a court order. Give us these records back. His lawyers, who have now all quit on him,
Mm-hmm.
said, "We have fully complied with the subpoena and we have absolutely given you everything." And they gave some more stuff back. But there was more.
The only
There was
thing
still things
I
missing, and then they
found,
did the raid, and in the raid found more of the things that were court ordered that we had to have. And so his
the,
lawyers have quit on him because he lies to
the
them and
only
they lied
thing,
for him. Hmm.
the only thing I found was a June 2nd, 2023 report from The Hill that says Trump attorneys haven't found classified document referred to on tape. Attorneys for former President Trump have not found a classified document he was reported discussing taking from the White House, CNN reported Friday. Two sources told the outlet that the attorneys provided material to the FBI in response to a subpoena
Hmm.
in March related to the document Trump discussed, but they did not find the document itself.
Okay, so it's still gone. And he's talking about holding it and talking about having it.
Yeah.
Has he still fucking got it? He still has it, doesn't he?
You
Oh my
might still
god.
have it.
He still has it. It's still
You might
there.
still have it.
It's there with Nautacoon.
I don't know where it is, but that does create a problem for the legal case.
Okay. Okay. Well, they found a whole bunch of other documents though. They found a whole bunch of them in the raid. They've got photos. They've got a bunch of classified documents. They've got a bunch of stickers, and they've got stuff in the raid that his lawyers said they fully complied with, and he got him. It's over.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I think that the prosecution has all they need. He has them. You can hear them being shuffled around. You can hear him talking about them, pointing to them, discussing it with these people. Those people are witnesses who have already been thoroughly briefed and debriefed, and we know exactly what they were looking at. They've discussed it with the Justice Department. They're going to go on the stand and they're going to tell them what they saw, and they're witnesses. And he knows that they're classified, and he knows that he cannot declassify them. I think they've got him all the way around.
I mean, what you're describing is I know that we have a dead body. It
Hmm.
has stab wounds in it. I have his jacket with the blood on it, but the murder weapon can't be found.
Well, it's entirely possible that when shit goes down, he shredded those, the ones that he had. If
Sure.
the if he had it in his back pocket when they did the raid, or he sent it somewhere else, which is what they're going to get. Uh, I think they pressed real hard on Nautacoon, and
Mm-hmm.
he tells them exactly where he put it last, and then he's gonna. I mean, he's not a famous guy. He's not rich. He's not powerful. He's gonna crack real quick if he hasn't already, and he's gonna turn on Trump to save himself. I bet. It's how the Justice Department does. You press the little guys, and they turn on the big guys.
Yeah. I just feel bad because when we were originally discussing this in chat, I 100% was like, ooh, Trump is going to jail for treason.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, he had some wiggle room. I do think he has some wiggle room because they don't have that document they
They
was
don't
talking
have
about
that
on the
one.
report.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
if I think you could still make a case if we found classified documents in the turlet,
Oh, yeah.
as
Yeah.
Shinsenso mentioned, and he's
In,
talking
in the
about
toilet.
I I know that they have them, and I am not allowed to declassify them anymore. I could have, but I didn't.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think
I
they still
agree.
got a pretty good case there.
I think he's 90% effed.
Hmm.
Before I thought it was 100% effed,
Hmm.
and now I'm a little disappointed that he created wiggle room for himself.
Yep.
He can wiggle a little bit in a straitjacket right now. I'm hoping it's not enough to get out.
Oh, he's gonna. That's his last line of defense, isn't it? Insanity plea. It won't stop him from running. It won't stop him from running. He'll just say that Ronald Reagan also had dementia and he got to be president. And then all the Trump fans will be like, yeah, you know what? That's right. That sounds about right. I remember that. I remember that. And they'll vote for him anyway. Okay. Do you want to look at the second link I sent you? This is a 60-second video.
Today, I'm announcing a new plan to protect the integrity of our immigration system. Federal law prohibits the entry of communists and totalitarians into the United States. But my question is, what do we do with the ones that are already here that grew up in it? I think we have to pass a new law for them. Using federal law in Section 212F of the Immigration and Nationality Act, I will order my government to deny entry to all communists and all Marxists.
It's already a thing.
Those who come to and join our country must love our country. We want them to love our country. We don't want them when they want to destroy our country. Welcome to America. We want to destroy your country. Thank you very much. So we're going to keep foreign Christian-hating communists, Marxists, and socialists out of America.
Oh, God.
We're keeping them out.
No.
There it is.
He's just saying that to try to get elected again.
I know. He's just saying it to rile everybody up, but it's not good that you rile everybody up with the communist Marxists and we're going to by law not let them in. What about the ones that are already here?
I mean, the problem with you having this discussion with me on your podcast is that I've been ranting and raving about how we need to bring decorum back to government
Mm-hmm.
since Obama. Like, Obama had decorum, Bush didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Obama had decorum, and then Trump didn't.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a one-sided kind of thing. Interesting. Like one side is better than the other, honestly.
Biden kind of has some decorum too. Shit.
Man, it's like one side is worse than the other. I like that. That's interesting. How we came to that conclusion. So, anyway,
you're making me sound like a liberal podcaster.
I know.
When I'm not.
And you're not. I know. I know. So I brought up the very cool little poem we got here. First, they came for the communists, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. But then they came for the socialists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a socialist. And they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. That is the path that Donald Trump will take. If he's allowed to. I don't think he could get things passed through a deadlock to Senate and House. But I think if Republicans took the presidency, the House, and the Senate, they would do this. They would come for the communists, then they would come for the socialists, then they would come for the trade unions, then they would come for the Jews. And they would get rid of all of that would be against the 14th Amendment. So I'm just going to say that if you vote for Trump, you are anti-Constitution. The end. There's no way around it anymore.
I mean, I've come to like the Republican Party less and less.
Mm-hmm.
There were years where I defended them when Trump was elected. I said, wait and see. I read word for word every executive order that he put out because I wanted to see what he did. I gave him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But what the Republican Party has been doing makes me fear that they're pushing more and more. This is going to sound alarmist and whatnot on your little podcast, but they are more like the Nazis than the Democratic Party.
I
They're
agree.
pushing for things that sound like they could be used to lessen the power of Congress, increase the power of the president,
Right.
and then all you need is the right set of tweaks that suddenly gives the president the power to say, I'm in control of these things. I can shut down Congress. I can move the military, and I can do the things that I want to do. That's my fear, is that they position the judges how they need them. They give the executive the power it needs, and they push just the right laws so that they can do a checkmate, just like Hitler did.
Right, and then they don't have to do those silly elections anymore. We just, we'd feel like we won the elections, so we did win the elections. That's what the Trump fans would do. They felt like they won in 2020, so they did a little coup, just a little coup, because they felt like they won in 2020. So
yeah,
when they feel like they won in 2024, they will do another little coup.
Yeah. So I get that Trump in that recording was saying like, hey, he's riling up his base to try to get people behind him for an election. And that's what he's doing. But it also sounds like I'm going to bend and break the Constitution in ways that would eventually give me power to kick the people we don't like out of our country.
Yeah.
That are already here.
They're already
and
here.
Are citizens.
Yeah. I talk about Marx all the time. Am I next? Do I get chased out of the country?
Yeah.
Well, it does make me excited. Makes me kind of worried that people still like him and are going to trust him. So, future predictions. What happens next?
I mean, he's going to court. Trump's going to court.
The DOJ said this case would take 20 days. I think once it starts, it'll take 20 days. Once it starts, I think his lawyers, if he can even find any, if there's any that'll work with him, will delay and delay and delay and push and push and push and try and change for a venue and object to every single person in the jury who isn't wearing a MAGA hat. And I mean, how are you going to find a jury of 12 people in Florida who don't know all this stuff already?
Yeah, I think with his, I mean, I don't know. I've got so many opinions about Trump and his lawyers and his legal team and the people around him that I can't say, because he's so good at weaseling out of paying people that, like, I think he doesn't get the best people anyway. And then on top of that, with all the lawyers quitting, lawyers want to be on cases that they think they can win, big, high-profile cases. If you can even get, like, a marginal victory.
Yeah, even a big high-profile push, even if it's not a win, it's just a big-profile, we kind of middle of the road. I think that would be good for a lawyer, and they're running from him.
Yeah. Yes. So while I'm like, okay, they're saying they don't have the documents, they didn't find the documents, so maybe the knife isn't there, but at the same time they're leaving, so either they are like, hey, the knife's not there, but you're still fucked. I think it's the biggest trouble Trump has ever had. I can't say whether or not he's going to go to jail, though. I don't know.
I don't think he's going to go to jail. I think he's going to get house arrest in Mar-a-Lago, and they're going to say you have to stay on these premises, and because of that, he can't literally go and be president, that he will be disqualified from the presidency.
And then
because
what?
he can't go there and do the thing.
And then what? DeSantis uses that to say that the Democratic deep state
The deep state's out to
falsely
get him.
accused Trump.
Uh, Listen, folks, Hillary did much worse. Deep state's out. Deep state's out to get him. Here comes the deep state. The black helicopters outside Trump's house. I've seen them myself. Yes, I think DeSantis has already said that it's ridiculous and terrible. You got Chris Christie going the other way, saying, "Oh yeah, this is terrible, and you guys shouldn't vote for Trump. Vote for me." That's what Chris Christie's doing. Does DeSantis pardon him? I think he does. Does President DeSantis pardon him? Yes, for sure. Does most of the other Republican presidents, if they were to win, pardon him? Yes. Now, wild question. Does Joe Biden pardon him?
What? Why would Joe Biden pardon him?
I think he will. Didn't Nixon got
Why?
pardoned? Nixon got pardoned by the guy who followed him, right? Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon.
Yeah.
But Gerald Ford was mad at him and didn't like him and was like, "Hey, this is terrible. What you did was bad. We're glad you stepped down. Here's your pardon." I think Biden would do that and call it bipartisanism.
Nixon stepped down.
Huh?
No. No.
You don't think Biden will do it?
That's because Nixon stepped down.
Right.
They were all happy that Nixon would maintain the dignity of the office by stepping away from office. They're like, you just step away.
Mm-hmm.
America looks better. The presidency looks better. Just step away, and we'll act like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't do that.
I know. He's going to fight it every step of the way. He's going to fight it every step of the way. But I'm worried. So here's my based on very little prediction. The indictment happens, or it continues. They fight and drag it out forever. They force the lawyers into this 20-day trial before the next election because it has to be done so that we can determine whether or not Trump is eligible to even run. He gets found guilty. Everybody screams bloody murder about it. There's a little bit of violence, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then Biden comes out and says, "Hey, listen, Jack, stop this violence. I'm going to pardon him so that he can go live his life and just be out of politics. And he's promised that he's not going to come back to politics, and I'll heal the rift. I, Joe Biden, have healed the rift within the country." They'll dress it up in flowery liberal language about him moving past. We got to get past this, Jack. Listen here, no more malarkey. Let's move on. I'm going to pardon Trump. We can't have a former president in orange jumpsuit jail. We can't have that. So I'm going to pardon him. And he's promised me, I've spoken to him, and he's promised me that he's just going to leave politics. And he would probably do it. He would just go on.
How good a grasp do you think Biden and his cabinet have on history? I think that's the question that needs to be answered if you're going to discuss the validity of that option. Because we have historical examples time and time again of someone doing something that they shouldn't have done, that was bad for everybody, and then great leaders come together and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that, but we don't want things to get worse, so just don't do it anymore, and we'll call it good. And then they do something worse.
I know. And I don't think it would go well. I don't think he would stick to that. I don't think Trump would stick to that agreement. If he were pardoned for that crime, he would go and do that crime again and again and again until he can't crime no more.
So I don't know. I think that Biden and his cabinet are probably educated enough on what's happened historically.
And they wouldn't do that? Okay.
They take the opportunity to be like, this is where we draw the line. You can't give people classified documents and create insurrection amongst the general population. Like that's the line. That's finally where we're going to draw that line.
I hope so.
I would hope that they would do that.
You see any riots upcoming? See any?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think there's gonna be a little violence, a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, unfortunately. I mean, there's a lot of strong opinions on both sides. So we see people with strong opinions on the Democratic liberal side, and they go to the streets for the things that they stand up for. And I think that we're going to see the same thing from the right. I think one side might be more correct than the other side, but
okay.
I'm just saying.
Glad to hear.
I don't think it's I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Okay. Shinsinto in chat says we'll just move the capital to Florida, and that way Trump can be president from house arrest. I think this is a good plan. This is a plan. This is a good plan. I like it.
So I think that Disney has overstepped their freedom of speech quota in Florida. And so it's okay for DeSantis to use eminent domain.
Eminent domain. Yeah. He's going to use eminent
so
domain
DeSantis
to
can
take from them.
Just use eminent domain, take Disney, turn the castle into the Capitol.
Turn the castle
it's
into
easy.
The new White House. All right.
Yes. You can live in a castle in Florida.
Oh, hi. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. Press the subscribe button. If you want to tell me how right I am, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to tell me how wrong I am, leave a comment too. That's good. This is just kind of a hobby for me, so I appreciate you coming by, giving it a watch, and pressing the YouTube buttons. Thanks.